I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Show me the money! Show me the money!
UFC 323. This is the full card quick picks, predictions, and picks. Marab taking on Jan in the rematch. Let's get into it. The first fight on the night, we have a Naimov taking on Myron Santos. Myron Santos, he's better on the feet, better hands, better boxing. You know, I think Naimov's a little bit more of like a sniper with like more of like the weird style fucking kicks or whatever. Myron missed weight. It's not a good look, but he's got better boxing. So I'd say Myron on decision, but I'm not really that confident. Moving to the next fight, we have a Mansour Abdul Malik taking on Antonio Tricoli. Antonio Tricoli, he just dated Mackenzie Dern off after Mackenzie Dern having, a divorce. So, not a good look. Like he's kind of like a creep, but at the same time, like now he's not dating her. So he was kind of like just like that. I don't know, that guy. You know what I mean? After a divorce with a different man, But Abdul Malik, he's a little bit more of a stop kind of guy. Like wants to stop the guy in the first round. Like wants to fuck him up. So I'd probably go Malik first round stoppage. Moving to the next fight, we have Iwo Baranowski taking on Ibo Aslan. Ibo Aslan is going to get probably fucked up in this fight. So Ibo just keeps taking on guys like Ivan and fucking... They all have their names like in the fucking eye. You know what I mean? Ibo Aslan is like a potato kind of guy. Iwo, he's kind of like the new guy coming in. I think he's undefeated. So I'd go Iwo by first round KO because they're going to bring it. Next fight, we have Edison Barboza taking on Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is coming back into the UFC, right? From retiring just randomly out of nowhere. He's very tall for the weight division. Edison Barboza, very old for the weight division, but still looks like an absolute specimen. Edison Barboza, good freak, absolute beast genetics, but at the same time, so does Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner, a little bit more longer striker, and I would say that probably has a little bit better on the ground, like skill set, with the submissions and all that. So I'd go Jalen Turner by second round submission, probably. You know what I mean? It could be like a stoppage, just a weird, random, out of nowhere. Jalen Turner just clubs and subs Edison Barboza, But I feel like, the guys coming back into the UFC always, kind of have a good show out, So Jalen Turner is going to destroy Edison Barboza. Moving to the next fight, we have Marvin Vettori taking on Bruno Ferreira. Marvin Vettori, very good. I believe he's the underdog in this fight. I believe so. I don't know. But Bruno Ferreira, weight miss. I don't know how you miss weight in divisions like this, especially being that short. Kind of weird. Marvin Vettori, better all-round skill set. Marvin Vettori on decision. Moving to the next fight, we have Nazim Sadikov taking on Ferris Ziam. Nazim Sadikov, he's the shorter man here, but he's a more crisp guy and all round. I think his on the ground grappling is just far more superior than Faris Ziam. I think Faris Ziam won't even know what to do on the ground against a Nazim. I've got Nazim Sadikov by submission. Moving to the next fight, we have Macy Barber taking on Corrine Silva. Corrine Silva's looking better. The chick here on the right, Silva, obviously Brazilian. And I reckon she's the better prospect here. Macy Barber having panic attacks and all sorts of weird stuff going into her last fight or whatever the hell was going on there. Corrine Silva is going to win this fight by any means necessary. Moving to the next fight, we have Terrence McKinney taking on Chris Duncan. Terrence McKinney's obviously more of a finisher, better long-range striking, like better, But Chris Duncan takes some shots, but obviously he's got more of a dog in him. You know what I mean? And could most likely submit Terrence McKinney anywhere in this fight, anywhere, first, second, or third round. Terrence McKinney's obviously going to want to go out there and get a first-round stoppage. And I think Chris Duncan gets too many shots, hit too many times, and I've got Terrence McKinney by first-round KO. I was actually originally with Chris Duncan with my picks, but I think Terrence McKinney might end up going out there and getting the KO, actually, to be honest, in the first round. But I did have Chris Duncan. But I've got Terrence McKinney first round KO now. Moving to the next fight, we have Grant Dawson taking on Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres, when you kind of think of it first, you think he's like going to be twice as tall as Grant Dawson, but not the case. But at the same time, Grant Dawson folded from just a nice, simple, not even just at the end, just at the start, at the beginning of the fucking straight from Bobby Green, and he literally just got folded. You know what I mean? Looked like he got absolutely folded. And Manuel Torres is much of a striker, long rangey. He could end up getting absolutely grappled here, but at the same time, I feel like Manuel Torres, I don't know. I'd say I'm not confident with Manuel Torres. I'd say Grant Dawson would be probably the pick, but at the same time, he's been in scandals, so I don't even know what even to do with this fight. Grant Dawson's been in scandals before, so if you're gonna pick anyone, pick Manuel Torres because he's the underdog. Moving to the next fight, we have great. Excuse me, intermission. Bogdan Guskov taking on Jan Blachowicz. Bogdan Guskov, obviously, he's been looking like the sniper kind of guy, can hit you. Jan Blachowicz has been there, done that, had the belt. More of a kickboxer, but at the same time, Bogdan Guskov could be the more powerful puncher here, could actually end up beating Jan to the punch. I know Jan wants to keep those kicks, but he might not end up being able to implement them. So Bogdan grabbed by second round or third round TKO. Moving to the next fight, we have Peyton Talbot taking on Henry Cejudo. Peyton Talbot can definitely be live to take out a Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo got chinned by Merab in the first round. And that was my first instinct when I heard about this fight. Obviously, Peyton Talbot's got some character behind him to overtake. This is an overtaking character fight. You know what I mean? In hindsight, it's kind of like the passing of the torches with audience. Henry Cejudo does have a large audience, obviously, because he's been the champ. Peyton Talbot's got more of a characteristic to him. He's very characteristic with his, that's the kind of aura of fight we've got going on here. But Peyton Talbot, if you're going to back anyone, I've got Peyton Talbot by first round KO because he's just going to shock everyone. I don't know. Henry Cejudo's been looking kind of sloppy. Moving to the next fight, we have Brendan Moreno taking on Tatsuro Taira. Brendan Moreno all day. He can beat Tatsuro Taira everywhere here. He can keep it on the feet, and he knows he can keep it on the feet. He knows he has to keep it on the feet, and he's just going to outbox a Tatsuro Taira to a TKO or decision, either one of them, But Brendan Moreno all day in that fight. Moving to the next fight, we have Alexandre Pantoja taking on Josh Van Pantoja by second or third round submission. Joshua Van's too young. He's 24. He needs a little bit more seasoning, and then he'll be ready. Moving to the next fight, we have Merab Dvalishvili taking on Peter Yan in the rematch. What's Peter Yan going to be doing that he hasn't done already, and what's he improved? Probably not much more. So Merab, is going to probably get a late submission over Peter Yan. He's probably going to find a fifth round submission over Peter Yan, but Merab all day in this fight. And that is the quick picks from Punches and Profits. I'm out. Peace.